Okay, so tonight's story, it's a weird one. It's kind of spooky, but honestly, it's also just strange. We're talking about a village, a loudspeaker that absolutely should not be working, and a ghost who's got a very, very specific craving. You're gonna want to hear this. So picture this. The scene is set in Chakk Bhutawala. It's this quiet little Punjabi village, you know the type. Totally peaceful, mustard fields everywhere, pretty much nothing ever happens. The kind of place where the biggest news of the week is usually like a lost buffalo or something. But of course, on this one night, things get weird. And it happens at a very specific time, 2:17 a.m. You know, that time of night when anything that happens just feels a little off.
And here's the kicker. This is the detail that makes this whole thing so bizarre. The power is out. I mean, completely out. Across the entire village. No electricity. Total darkness, dead silent. So, logically, nothing electronic should be working, right?
Well, you'd think so, but nope, because all of a sudden, the mosque's loudspeaker just crackles to life, and this gravelly voice, it sounds like an old uncle who's got a really bad cough, echoes through the whole village. And what does it say? "Oh yeah, who stole my samosas?" Okay, so you've got a potentially supernatural event, and it involves electronics. Who do you even call for that? Well, lucky for Chakk Bhutawala, they had the perfect guy for the job. Enter Billa, the ghost hunter.
So yeah, meet Billa. By day, he's your go-to village electrician, super reliable. But by night, he's a paranormal investigator. For his 43 followers on TikTok, a true modern Renaissance man, balancing science and the supernatural. And here's the thing. Billa had been saying this for years. He had this whole theory that his village was haunted and that its resident ghost had a serious thing for local snacks. Nobody believed him, of course. That is, until now.
So you can imagine the scene, right? The whole village wakes up, totally confused, a little freaked out, and they all have the exact same thoughts. Get Billa. He shows up, toolbox in one hand, phone in the other, ready to go live. Finally, he's thinking some real content.
So Billa gets right to it. He shimmies up the pole, opens the wiring, and confirms everything. No power source, no battery backup. The mic isn't even connected. It is literally impossible. And right then, the voice crackles again. "Billa, you climb very slowly." Whoa. Okay, so not only is there a ghost, but the ghost knows his name. This just got a lot more personal.
Now, you'd think a ghost would, haunt, rattle some chains, maybe a spooky moan or two. But this entity, it had other plans. It seemed way less interested in terror and a whole lot more interested in, village administration.
This ghost's whole vibe was just bizarre. It wasn't spouting ancient curses or anything. No, it was lodging formal complaints. Seriously. It had issues with livestock management. Someone kept tying goats to its banyan tree. It was concerned about child safety, because apparently kids were using its skull for cricket practice. And the ultimate insult, food waste. Someone was leaving half-eaten samosas around. The horror.
And look, like any good manager, the ghost didn't just complain. It came with solutions. Here are its official rules for the village. 1, bring samosas every Friday. Non-negotiable. 2, stop peeing near the banyan tree. Fair enough. And 3, no loud dole music after midnight. Look at this list. It's so specific and so Punjabi. This wasn't haunting. This was the ghost establishing new village bylaws. So for a few nights, the village actually goes along with it. They're living by the ghost's rules. But then the situation takes a sharp turn, and this whole mystery starts to come apart at the seams. The voice comes back over the loudspeaker, but this time it is furious. It turns out all its tribute samosas have been stolen, and it makes a threat. If the thief doesn't return them, it will reveal everyone's secrets. Now hold on. That threat, revealing secrets, that sounds a lot less like some ancient spirit and a lot more like a person. A person who knows way too much. And that right there, that was the turning point. The villagers, and Billa especially, started to think, wait a second, a ghost that complains about goats and wants samosas? Okay, maybe. But a ghost that resorts to blackmail? That just felt really, really human. So they do a little digging, and what do they find? Not some ancient banyan tree spirit. The culprit was Billa's own cousin, Papu. They catch him red-handed with a hidden microphone and a mouth literally full of the stolen samosas. And his motive? He just wanted to make a viral YouTube video. So mystery solved, case closed, right? Well, not quite. So everyone's having a good laugh, scolding Papu. They're all so relieved it was just a prank. And it's in that exact moment, that feeling of relief, that the story takes its final and truly terrifying twist. With Papu standing right there, not touching a thing, the loudspeaker turns on again. It crackles back to life. But this time, the static just sounds different. You could feel it. It was colder. And the voice that spoke was absolutely not Papu's fake, gravelly act. No, this voice was deep, ancient. It was filled with this chilling authority that just silenced the entire village. Instantly. It only said one thing, and it was directed right at the terrified prankster. Papu, those were my samosas. And you could just see the blood drain from everyone's face. They'd been dealing with a fake ghost, and the real one had been listening the whole time. Papu slowly turns his head, and every single person's eyes follow his gaze up into the dark, tangled branches of that old banyan tree. And up there, in the deepest shadows, something moved. Now, the story never says exactly what they saw, just that it was something big, something old, and something that was definitely not human. And then that cold voice whispered one last thing through the loudspeaker before it just faded into silence. A final, chilling demand that was also somehow kind of funny. It said, "Next time, bring jalebi too." And so, to this very day, the villagers of Chakk Bhutawala leave a plate of samosas and jalebi under that banyan tree every single Friday, just in case, which kind of leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If your loudspeaker suddenly turns on at 2:17 in the morning, what does the ghost want from you?